Imagine waking up with perfect intentions. Coffee steamed, calendar clean, a quiet house. And then, one notification punctures your focus and the morning is gone. Where did your sovereignty go? Who decided your day? Here's the truth. Most people never say out loud, you are not one voice. You are a small parliament, and one ruthless member, your shadow, knows exactly how to auction your attention for cheap dopamine. Jung didn't see the shadow as evil. He saw it as energy you've exiled. Impulses, envy, hunger for status, a taste for chaos. When banished, it doesn't disappear. It negotiates in back rooms. It trades long-term respect for short-term relief and leaves you holding the bill. Today, we're going to tame that force without moralizing or self-hate. We'll use dopamine like a tool, not a drug. Cold, precise, non-dramatic. If you've ever said, I'll start after I check one more thing, this is your dojo. We'll claim the frame internally, set scarcity windows so your brain stops screaming for novelty, build discomfort ladders so friction works for you, and install artifacts that kill impulses with one click. No slogans. Structure. You'll learn scripts you can use in meetings tomorrow. You'll track metrics, like a respect ledger, that make progress obvious. This is dark philosophy applied to daily life. Jung for the shadow, Stoics for discipline, Nietzsche for will, Machiavelli for incentives, and Bourdieu for status signals, translated into protocols a serious professional can run on a Tuesday at 9:10 a.m. when a client slacks something urgent, because that's when power matters. Quick ask. If you're building silent status this year, tap like, share this with one friend who's in the trenches with you, and comment frame if you'll claim your internal frame tomorrow morning before you touch a screen. Then come back. We're going to work. Start with the real game instead of the meme version. Your brain budgets dopamine for prediction. It spikes when reality beats expectation and drops when it doesn't. Novelty and uncertainty, what might happen if you open that app, are the cheapest way to get a spike because your brain loves maybe. But your shadow isn't actually chasing pleasure. It's chasing relief from tension, relief from uncertainty, boredom, fear of not being enough. That's why you can scroll and not enjoy it and still be unable to stop. The shadow trades in micro reliefs that cost macro respect. There's a hidden economy at work. Attention is the currency, status is the compound interest, and your shadow is the unregulated market maker, front-running every intention you announce out loud. At work, that looks like opening the dock to write slide 3, a tightness in your chest, a tiny doubt whispering, what if it's not good enough? And your hand, without asking permission, Alt-tab to messages for a hit of certainty. Someone pinged you? Great. You're needed. Spike delivered. Long-term you pay in missed depth, sloppy drafts, and credibility leaks. People don't say it, but they feel it. You're reactive. In the economy of respect, reactivity is a quiet tax. You look busy. You don't look sovereign. Map the loop with no romance. Cue, craving, action, outcome, memory. The shadow is strongest at the cue. You let random stimuli set the frame, and at the outcome, you accept relief instead of result. To win, we intervene in 3 places. First, frame the cue before the world does. That's internal sovereignty. Second, pre-wire actions with friction and affordances, so the default path produces the result. Third, bind the outcome to a delayed, earned reward, so dopamine aligns with respect. This is not about denying dopamine. It's about reassigning it to what you've declared sacred. 2 distinctions matter: attention versus status. Attention begs, status decides. Urgency versus importance. Urgency shouts, importance waits. When you don't claim the frame, your shadow confuses attention for status. More pings must mean you matter, and urgency for importance. Louder equals higher priority. Your calendar fills with other people's spikes. You lose the quiet force that makes rooms settle when you speak. The point here isn't monk-like purity. It's predictable, high-quality output so others adapt to your tempo. Power is people adjusting to your clock. Install the internal sovereignty protocol and make it small enough to run half asleep. 90 seconds is enough. Before any task or meeting, stand up, exhale longer than you inhale twice, square your feet, Slot your shoulders back 1 centimeter and look at a fixed point. Whisper to yourself, neutral tone, 5 words. I set the frame now. Then write on paper 3 lines. The game, 1 sentence describing reality. The win condition, the smallest output that counts by a specific time. And the ignore list, what will not get attention until after the win. If you do nothing else from this entire video, do that before you touch a screen. Add a pre-commitment, 1 deep block of 15 minutes on the win condition before messages. Vampires hate sunlight, the shadow hates a measured first move. Use a doorway trigger. Every time your hand reaches the mouse in the morning, your other hand touches the paper card that says, frame first. You don't start digital before you ink those 3 lines. It takes 90 seconds, and it flips you from prey to hunter. And yes, posture counts. Your nervous system listens to geometry. Sovereignty is a posture before it's a plan. Build your shadow ledger so the invisible becomes accountable. This is basic accounting, not therapy. On 1 card, draw 3 columns. Triggers, switches, results. Triggers are when, where, what sensations make you defect. Time of day, location, emotion, people. Switches are the behaviors you choose at that trigger. You checked messages, stood up, opened the dock, grabbed snacks. Results are counts you care about. Deep blocks completed, unforced context switches, commitments delivered, interruptions you initiated. For 1 week you simply observe. Score each trigger 0.5 for intensity. You'll find patterns. After lunch, on your phone, when a certain name appears, in open plan spaces, when the room is too warm, when you're underlit at night. The shadow is not random, it's precise. You can predict it once you track it. And each day with a respect P&L. If deep blocks, count X minutes, beat unforced switches, you booked interest. If delivered commitments hit 3, and 1 is non-trivial, you compounded status. If not, adjust tomorrow's environment, not your moral story. The ledger gives you levers. You don't fix willpower, you fix architecture. Treat time as dopamine. If novelty is cheap, scarcity makes it expensive, and therefore potent when you choose it. Clock is the protocol. C for claim the first 90 minutes with at least 9 minutes of uncomfortable work before touching novelty. L for limit novelty to 2 short windows you schedule like meetings. O for open a single high reward slot when you finish a deep block. Novelty as dessert, not appetizer. C for cool down after peaks. 10 minutes of low stimulation walking, breathing, or paper notes so your nervous system doesn't reboot into seeking. K for kill switch at night. Shut down stimulation 1 hour before sleep the same way every day. Same sequence, no debate. Start with 99. In the first 90 minutes, commit to 9 minutes of friction, the exact task your shadow resists. This primes your reward system to earn dopamine from progress, not from possibility. Put novelty office hours after lunch and at 4:30 p.m. When you feel the itch at 10:20 a.m., you know your next window is locked, and soon. The existence of a window erases the false emergency. Scarcity cures panic. If you lead a team, publish your windows in your status. Responses: 120, 140, 430, 450. People adapt quickly to reliable clocks. Reliability is quiet status. Design edges, micro-frictions and micro-affordances, so you don't fight your shadow, you tire it. Build a discomfort ladder for the tasks you avoid. Start with the fraction you can face for 5 minutes without theatrics. If you procrastinate on cold outreach, level 1 is filling the spreadsheet with names for 5 minutes. Level 2 is writing 1 ugly sentence per prospect. Level 3 is sending 1 email with a 2-line script. Level 4 is 5 sends. Each level earns a small, specific reward you bank, not consume immediately. Permission to step outside, a better coffee at 3 p.m., a playlist in the car on the way home. You're not bribing yourself. You're making progress the primary path to dopamine. Then craft frictions. 2 clicks of delay on sins and 1 click of ease on virtues. Put the app that steals you on the 3rd screen inside a folder named Taxes. Put your work doc on the desktop and map it to a hotkey. Use a second dumb phone for messaging during work blocks. Your main stays in a zip pouch across the room. Remove the chair's wheels if you spin when anxious. Unplug the TV during weekdays. Add a $20 kitchen timer on your desk so you don't touch your phone to time anything ever again. None of this is heroic. It's architectural. Heroes burn out. Architects win repeatedly. Language is a steering wheel. Whisper authority uses sparse, neutral words that move behavior without drama. With yourself, prefer direct imperatives with tiny scopes. Begin with line 1 now, write the subject first. Open slide 3 only. When the shadow negotiates, just check to make sure no one needs you. Respond like a calm operator, not now. After block 2, we serve the mission, not the mood. With other people, keep boundaries framed in service, not ego. To help you fast, I'm batching replies at 1:20. If something is on fire, call me at this number. If we want quality by Friday, we need to drop feature B or move the date. Which lever do you prefer? I want to help. To do that, here's what we drop. I'm committing to 30 minutes on the proposal. If I'm quiet, it's to protect quality. Notice the cadence: short, warm, specific, costly to violate. When someone tries to inject urgency, you don't mirror the panic. You slow your tempo half a beat, breathe, and ask, what decision dies if we ship this Monday instead of Friday? You are not performing dominance, you're inviting clarity. People feel the frame even if they can't name it. Rooms calm because your nervous system is a metronome. Allies multiply your will. The Shadow Dojo is light, unsentimental accountability that runs on signals, not lectures. Rule 7, the one that changes how you enter rooms, is this: make your tempo public. Simple system. Choose one partner. Set one weekly objective each Sunday night in a single sentence. Every weekday, send 2 signals at fixed times: a black dot when you start your first deep block, and a check mark when you finish your third. No paragraphs, no excuses. If you break the chain, you pay a visible cost you pre-agreed: $20 to a cause you dislike or a task you dislike doing for the team. You don't debate the payments, you execute them. Add a ledger, 3 columns: date, deep blocks, delivered commitment. At the end of the week, get on a 15-minute call. Each of you reads the ledger and asks 3 questions. What trigger ambushed you? What edge worked? What artifact will we add next week? If you're leading a team, adopt a dojo rule for meetings. The first 2 minutes are silent reading of the pre-read. No one speaks until they've read. That one rule changes how you enter any room because it installs a norm: thought before talk. Your shadow feeds on chaotic rooms. The dojo starves it. Artifacts, small and dumb, beat heroic moods. Build kill switches and tokens. Kill switches are single actions that remove entire temptations. The work laptop has no social apps. The personal phone lives in a drawer from 9 to 12. The YouTube homepage is blocked. You only open direct links through a notes file. Your desk has only what's used in the next 2 hours. Everything else is out of sight, so your brain isn't playing prediction games with 1,000 objects. Tokens are symbolic chips that remind your body of the identity you're training. A coin you carry that you flip before entering a meeting, anchoring your breath and your cadence. A black index card with your 3 weekly battles written by hand. A rubber band you snap once when the urge to check hits. Physical, not pain, just interruption of the autopilot. And then you say, not now, after block 2. Create a ritualized reward token. When you finish your 3rd deep block, you place a small stone in a jar. You can see the accumulated stones over a month. That jar is your status without noise. Field ops are where philosophy proves itself. In work, before the Monday status meeting, run the 90-second sovereignty protocol and write 2 lines: the frame of the project and the single outcome you need from the room. Enter, sit, and wait 1 beat longer than usual before speaking. Let others spill urgency. When it's your turn, use whisper authority. Here's the frame in 1 line. Here's the win condition. Here are the trade-offs. To do this cleanly by Friday, we drop X or move Y. Which lever do you want? You just claim the frame without theatrics. In negotiation, as soon as you feel the urge to give a discount for approval, label your shadow, approval-hungry voice in your notes, then ask a calm, high-status question. If we protect this price, what can we remove to make it a yes? In conflict, when someone raises their volume, lower yours. Simultaneously, Make a micro-choice that proves sovereignty to your own nervous system. You take a slow sip of water, hold eye contact for 2 seconds longer, then summarize their point in one sentence so cleanly they feel heard. People relax when your tempo doesn't wobble. Sovereignty is contagious. Apply it to dating and friendship without weirdness. The shadow wants chaotic attention. Sovereignty wants selected attention. Before a date, run the frame, the game. Slow, honest signals, the win. Observe how we each handle small friction. The ignore list, impressing with noise. Keep your phone off the table. If you must check, say it cleanly. I'm in a do not disturb window for work. I'll check messages at 8:30. You just signaled tempo. After, don't flood yourself with novelty. Give your nervous system a cool down so you don't turn into a dopamine speedrunner looking for the next match. Quiet standards beat loud preferences. Weekends are a lab. If your weekdays are brutal, Saturday becomes a dopamine carnival and Monday is a hangover. Fix it with optionality. Plan one high-effort, high-joy activity that earns dopamine honestly. A long hike, a hard workout, a cooking project, and one low-stimulation block of reading or making. Declare screens off until noon. Create a scarcity window for junk food or binge watching, 6 to 8 p.m. only. When your shadow demands now, you can say truthfully, we have a window later. Now your weekend restores you instead of deleting your stability. Debugging is where most self-improvement dies because people moralize instead of measure. Common failure 1, nice guy energy with no boundaries. You say yes to everyone because it feels kind. Your shadow collects IOUs of resentment and spends them at night when you're alone, scrolling and snacking. Fix it with the service frame. To help properly, here's what we drop. Kindness with constraints. Failure 2. Confusing attention with status. You chase notifications because they feel like proof you matter. Fix it by literally counting delivered commitments per day. Respect accrues to delivery. Failure 3. Moral drama. You build a story about discipline and identity, and then the first bad day becomes a referendum on your worth. Fix it with a 2-sentence post-mortem on paper. What was the cue? What edge can I add? Failure 4. All or nothing. You try to go monk mode and then burn out on day 3. Fix it with micro-frictions and the rule of 1 inch. Adjust the environment by 1 inch daily. Never change more than 3 inches per week. Failure 5. Secrecy. You keep your tempo private, so people keep hijacking it. Fix it by broadcasting your windows. Responses at 1:20 and 4:30. This is not bragging, it's infrastructure. Failure 6. Bargaining with the shadow. If I check for 2 minutes, I'll start. You won't. Replace bargains with windows. Bargaining is a promise to chaos. Windows are promises to yourself. Failure 7. Stacking frictions on everything. You make the right thing as hard as the wrong thing. Fix it by adding ease to the virtue, not just pain to the vice. Hotkeys, templates, pre-written first lines, clean desktop, scheduled deep workrooms. Bring Jung back into focus. He argued for integration, not eradication. Your shadow is energy without a job description. When it leaks, you become dramatic or avoidant. When you harness it, you become capable of force without noise. Don't fight your hunger for status, refine it. Status is not applause. It's the weight people feel when you promise and deliver. Don't fight your taste for risk. Give it a clean arena. Business experiments, public writing, speaking last in a high-stakes meeting after listening hard. Don't fight your envy. Use it as a map of your unlived values. The person you envy is broadcasting an edge you exiled. Ask, what capability are they expressing that I'm underfeeding? Then run a 7-day micro-protocol just on that edge. Translate the philosophy into boring systems, because boring is what survives Thursdays. Every Sunday night, write 3 battles for the week on a black index card. 1 is craft, building the thing that makes you valuable. 1 is leverage, creating assets that scale while you sleep. 1 is reputation, visible proof you deliver. Put the card on your keyboard. Every morning, copy the first battle onto your daily frame card and declare 1 win condition by 11 a.m. That's it. Win early. Your nervous system needs a victory to stop hunting for relief. Reward it with a walk in sunlight and coffee you save for after the second block. You're pairing dopamine with delivery, not with scrolling. Here is a compact playbook you can carry into any day and any room without explaining it to anyone. Start with the breath and the 5-word sentence. I set the frame now. Posture aligns, eyes still, hands quiet. Write the 3 lines. Game, win by when. Ignore list. Start the timer for 15 minutes and move your fingers before your brain can compose a paragraph about how hard this will be. The keyboard is a truth serum. Once you move, the drama drains. When an urge hits, label it neutrally. Novelty, itch. Approval, hunger. Escape, impulse. Then you have 2 moves. Edge or window. Edge means add a 1-inch friction to the wrong action and a 1-inch ease to the right one. Window means schedule the relief. After block 2, at 1:20, in the 4:30 slot. You are not denying, you are sequencing. Sequence beats suppression. In teams, operationalize whisper authority so culture does half your discipline for you. Make pre-reads default so meetings start with thinking, not improvisation. End meetings with a single owner and a time-stamped deliverable. Install a no ping before 10 a.m. unless production is down rule. Praise people for calm tempo, not for heroic responsiveness. Keep a shared ledger of shipped artifacts every Friday. It becomes your collective jar of stones. When someone violates your windows chronically, don't escalate, codify. I'm committed to deep work 9 to 12. If you need me live, book me after 1. If they push, use the consequence frame. If I switch now, quality drops and we slip Friday. Which cost do you prefer? You're not being difficult, you're being measurable. Let's talk about reward calibration because most people ruin it. If you make the reward too big or too sugary, you teach your brain that the work is only a bridge to dessert. Then you start resenting the work. Keep rewards precise and tied to completion of the smallest definition of done. If the win condition was 1 ugly draft, your reward is stand outside for 2 minutes, breathe, then a better coffee. If the win condition was 5 hard emails, your reward is 15 minutes of guilt-free scroll in the window you scheduled. Then you hard stop and move. The shadow will try to extend dessert until the day dissolves. End the reward while it's still good. You're training yourself to be a connoisseur of earned dopamine, not a consumer of novelty sludge. Now install environmental design at the level of light, sound, and threshold. Too many people try to think under bad light and wonder why they reach for their phone. Bright, high-contrast light in the morning wakes your reticular activating system. Dim, warm light at night tells your brain to wind down. Put a cheap lamp behind your monitor angled at the wall. No flicker, no glare. Use white noise or brown noise to mask office chatter. Put the volume just below awareness so you don't shape your mood to a song. Create a threshold ritual at your door. When you enter the workspace, you touch the coin, breathe, say the sentence, and start. When you exit, you write tomorrow's first line of the first task, so your brain keeps working subconsciously while you sleep. Then you power down in the same order every day. Repetition is how you talk to the animal part of you. Consistency is compassion. You will relapse. Expect it. On those days, do not deliver a speech about your identity. Deliver a minimum viable victory. 1 block of 9 minutes. 1 delivered promise. 1 kill switch toggled. Then you're back on track. The ledger doesn't care about your mood, it counts. That's mercy. That's why this works on Thursdays when you're tired, and on Sundays when you're tempted to rewrite your entire life. If you want an image to remember, use this. You're walking a strong dog in a city. If you jerk the leash, it pulls harder and drags you across traffic. If you let it sprint, it pulls you into trouble. But if you give it a pace, a job, and a consistent route with stops, it becomes proud of walking beside you. Your shadow is that dog. Give it a job, hunt threats to the mission, reward it for sitting at your side when novelty barks. Let it sprint inside a fenced field you choose, your scheduled windows, and it will sleep when you need quiet. You are not killing the shadow. You are civilizing it. Jung would approve because this is integration, making the wild part of you a citizen of the city you are building. Let's load you with scripts you can use tomorrow morning. To yourself at 8:59. Begin with line 1 now. To a colleague at 9:01. To help properly, I'm batching responses at 1:20. If something's truly urgent, call me. Otherwise, I'll confirm after lunch. To your boss at 10:15 when a new task arrives. Happy to do that. To keep Friday's deliverable clean, which of these should slip or drop? To a client at 3:45, I can push a draft tonight at 7 with fewer notes, or a stronger version by 10 a.m. Which better serves the outcome? To your shadow at 11:32 when the itch hits. Not now. After block 2. We serve the mission, not the mood. To yourself at 10 p.m. Shutdown sequence now. Desk clear. Tomorrow's first line written. Device off. Lamp off. We guard the morning. Whisper authority. Nobody needs to know you're running a protocol. They'll just feel fewer surprises around you and they'll trust you with larger things. That is status without noise. Metrics keep you honest. Track 4 numbers for 14 days. Deep blocks completed, count. Unforced context switches, count. Delivered commitments, count. Cooldown compliance, yes, no, after each peak. Add a qualitative note. What single trigger ambushed you today? At the end of each week, compute your respect ratio. Delivered commitments divided by unforced switches. If it's under 0.5, you're in reactive debt. Add one more edge to your environment and one less goal to your list. If it's over 1.5, you're gaining quiet status. Consider adding a slightly bigger discomfort step next week. Don't chase perfect, chase momentum. If you want to do this with jet fuel, run the 7-day shadow taming sprint and comment your commitment publicly for accountability, not approval. Day 1, audit and frame. Place the frame first card on your device. Run 99. Start the respect P&L and fill the ledger at night. Day 2, trigger mapping. Keep the 3-column card with you and log 10 triggers with 0 to 5 intensities. Add 1-inch frictions for the top 2. Day 3, time as dopamine. Publish your 2 novelty windows in your status and tell one person your clock plan. Keep the cooldowns like they are sacred. Day 4, edges. Build a discomfort ladder for the task you've avoided and climb 2 levels by noon. Design one affordance, a hotkey or a template that makes the right action faster than the wrong one. Day 5, whisper authority. Use 3 scripts, 1 to say no, 1 to trade scope for time, 1 to batch responses. Notice how rooms change when your tempo slows rather than rises. Day 6, alliances. Pick a partner and start the 2-signal system. Black dot at start, check mark after 3rd block, and agree on a cost for a broken chain. Day 7, artifacts. Install 1 kill switch, set a shutdown ritual, and place a token jar on your desk. Then review your ledger and post 1 learning in the comments with the word edge, so the dojo sees you. You're not alone. You're part of a lab of people who value respect more than noise. A few advanced moves for when the basics feel easy. Swap caffeine to follow, not lead. Take your first coffee after the first deep block, not before. You're teaching your brain that effort precedes reward. Use micro-commitments with witnesses. Tell a teammate, I'll send you a bad first draft by 11:15. Bad is the keyword. It removes perfection as an excuse while preserving speed. If the doc is still empty at 11:10, write the ugliest version possible and send it. The product is momentum. Reserve a weekly brutality hour where you handle tasks that generate anxiety with no visible reward. Paperwork, taxes, legal forms. Stack music, sunlight, better coffee, and 5-minute sprints so it feels athletic, not tragic. Build a seasonal reset. Every 3 months, take 1 morning to clean your digital environment. Unsubscribe, purge apps, archive, relabel your folders with action verbs. Fresh environments reduce prediction errors, fewer surprises, fewer spikes. Finally, create an anti-resentment ritual if you often play the nice person who overgives. Once a week, write 1 boundary you honored and 1 request you declined, then physically toss the note after reading. You're not documenting for a court. You're telling your nervous system, we choose our load. If you're asking, what about days when real emergencies hit? Good. Sovereignty isn't fragile. When production is down or a family member needs you, smash the glass. You step into sprint mode on purpose. After the emergency, you run a short after action. What did we learn about our triggers and edges? Then you return to clock the next day as if nothing heroic happened. Emergencies don't become identity. They stay what they are, exceptions. People who treat emergencies as a lifestyle are quietly begging the world to feed their dopamine. We're not doing that here. To close, reframe who you are. You're not a productivity fan. You are a steward of attention in an economy where attention buys respect. Your shadow is not an embarrassing secret. It's horsepower you're channeling. The dopamine system isn't a villain. It's a lever you place under work that matters. You don't signal power by noise. You signal it by tempo, by the way you claim the frame with a breath, by the calmness of your language, by the artifacts on your desk that look boring until someone realizes how often you ship. Imagine 1 year from now. Jars of stones visible, a ledger of delivered promises, a few people who know your windows by heart because you never wobble, a career that feels more like a craft and less like a siren test. That's not fantasy. That's compounding. And time compounds faster when you stop spending it on micro-relief. If this helped, earn your dopamine the honest way. Commit publicly. Comment frame if you'll run the 99 protocol tomorrow morning before any novelty. Comment clock if you'll publish 2 response windows and obey the cooldowns for 1 week. Comment edge if you'll add 1 inch of friction to your top trigger tonight. Share this with one colleague who's ready to step out of reactive mode and into whisper authority. Subscribe if you want more field-tested dark philosophy. You'll get scripts, rituals, and upgrades you can run by 9:10 a.m. on a Tuesday. Now flip the coin, breathe, and say the sentence, "I set the frame now." Then begin with line 1.